First contact, humanity's unexpected allies. The vast expanse of space had always called to humanity, a siren song of endless possibilities. But on that fateful day in 2157, as the experimental deep space vessel Athena pierced the veil of the unknown, Captain Ilara Chen realized that humanity's wildest dreams paled in comparison to the reality that awaited them. The Athena shuddered as it exited the experimental wormhole drive, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Ilara's eyes widened as she took in the sight before her. A massive space station, easily dwarfing anything humanity had ever constructed, loomed in the viewport. "My God," whispered Dr. Aidan Foster, the ship's exobiologist. "We're not alone." Before Ilara could respond, a soft chime echoed through the bridge. "Captain," the ship's AI intoned, "we're receiving a transmission." Ilara straightened her uniform, acutely aware that she was about to become the first human to make contact with an alien species. "Put it through, AI." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a creature that defied easy description. It appeared almost plant-like, with a body composed of interwoven vines and leaves. Bioluminescent pods pulsed gently along its form, and what seemed to be eyes, dozens of them, blinked in eerie synchronization. "Greetings, travelers," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious whisper that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. "We are the Florans. We welcome you to the Galactic Concord." Ilara swallowed hard, forcing herself to maintain composure. "I am Captain Ilara Chen of the Earth vessel Athena. We come in peace and friendship." The Florans' leaves rustled in what Ilara hoped was a positive response. "Your arrival is fortuitous, Captain Chen. The Galactic Concord faces a grave threat, one that your species may be uniquely suited to help us overcome." As the Floran spoke, Ilara felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, but to be immediately thrust into an interstellar conflict, it seemed almost too much to bear. The Floran, sensing her hesitation, continued. "We have observed your species from afar, Captain. Your resilience, your adaptability, your innovative spirit. These are qualities that the Concord desperately needs in these dark times." Dr. Foster stepped forward, his scientific curiosity overriding protocol. "What exactly is this threat you speak of?" The Floran's bioluminescent pods pulsed faster, a sign of distress. They are known as the Void Collective, a hive mind species that seeks to assimilate all sentient life into their neural network. They consume worlds, strip mining planets for resources to fuel their ever-expanding armada. Ilara's mind raced. The idea of a threat so dire that it would prompt an advanced alien civilization to seek help from a species that had just achieved interstellar travel was both terrifying and oddly flattering. "Why, Ilara asked. "Surely there are other, more advanced species in this galactic concord that could help." The Floran's response was immediate and fervent. "Because you are different, Captain Chen. Your species possesses a quality that is rare in the galaxy, individual minds working in harmony without sacrificing autonomy. The Void Collective cannot comprehend this. It is your greatest strength, and potentially their greatest weakness." As the gravity of the situation settled over the bridge, Ilara realized that humanity stood at a crossroads. They could retreat, return to Earth, and pretend this encounter never happened. Or they could step forward, accept the challenge, and potentially save not just their own world, but countless others. "We'll need to consult with our government," Ilara said, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her mind. "This decision affects all of humanity." The Floran nodded, a gesture it had likely adopted for the benefit of the humans. "Of course, but time is of the essence. The Void Collective grows stronger with each passing moment." As the transmission ended, Ilara turned to her crew. She saw a mix of emotions on their faces: fear, excitement, determination. They were pioneers, explorers, but now they found themselves potential saviors of the galaxy. RRA. Ilara called out, "Prepare a data package for Earth, include everything we've learned, and set a course for home." As the Athena's engines hummed to life, Ilara couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they knew the truth. They weren't alone, but they were unique. And that uniqueness might just be the key to saving the galaxy. The journey back to Earth was tense, filled with speculation and preparation. Ilara spent hours poring over the data the Florans had shared, trying to understand the scope of the threat they faced. The Void Collective seemed almost like something out of humanity's darkest science fiction, a relentless, ever-expanding force that consumed everything in its path. As they approached Earth, Ilara gathered her crew for a final briefing. "I won't lie to you," she said, her voice firm. "What we're about to share with Earth will change everything, but I believe we're ready for this. Humanity has always looked to the stars with hope and wonder. Now, we have a chance to make a difference on a scale we've never imagined." The crew nodded, their faces a mix of determination and nervous excitement. They had signed up for exploration, for discovery. Instead, they found themselves on the brink of an interstellar war. But as Ilara looked at each of them, she saw no regret, only resolve. As the blue marble of Earth filled their viewport, Aora's voice broke the silence. "Captain, we're being hailed by United Earth Command." Ilara took a deep breath. "Put them through, ARIA. It's time to change the course of human history." The face of Admiral Zao appeared on the screen, his expression a mix of relief and concern. "Welcome back, Athena. Your preliminary report has caused quite a stir. The Security Council is convening as we speak. They're waiting for your full briefing." Ilara nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. "Understood, Admiral. We're ready to present our findings and recommendations." As the Athena docked with the orbital station, Ilara knew that the next few hours would determine the fate of humanity. Would they rise to the challenge, joining the Galactic Concord in their fight against the Void Collective? Or would they choose isolation, hoping to remain unnoticed in the vast expanse of space? The answer, Ilara realized, would reveal the true nature of humanity. And as she prepared to make her case to the leaders of Earth, she felt a surge of pride and hope. Whatever the outcome, humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. The journey ahead would be perilous, but the potential rewards were beyond imagination. As the airlock cycled open, Ilara straightened her uniform one last time. "Let's go make history," she said to her crew. And with that, they stepped forward into humanity's new future among the stars. The Galactic Council's ultimatum. The United Earth Security Council chamber buzzed with tension. Holographic displays flickered with images of the Floran space station and data on the Void Collective. Captain Ilara Chen stood at the center, her voice steady as she concluded her report. "And that's the situation we face, Council members. The Galactic Concord seeks our help against this Void Collective threat." Secretary General Amara Okafor leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Captain Chen, while your discovery is monumental, involving ourselves in an interstellar conflict seems premature. We've barely mastered wormhole technology." Ilara nodded, understanding the hesitation. "With respect, Madam Secretary, we may not have a choice. The Florans believe our unique cognitive structure makes us valuable allies. If we don't act, we risk isolation in a galaxy at war." Dr. Foster stepped up, adding his expertise. "The Void Collective's assimilation process is unlike anything we've encountered. They don't just conquer, they absorb entire species into their hive mind. Our individuality, our creativity, that's what the Concord needs." The room erupted in debate. Some council members argued for caution, others for immediate action. As the arguments heated up, a chime silenced the room. "Incoming transmission," announced the chamber's A. Source: Galactic Concord. The main screen flickered to life, revealing not just the plant-like Floran, but a diverse array of alien species. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied easy categorization. At the center stood a tall crystalline being that seemed to shimmer with inner light. "Greetings, leaders of Earth," the crystal being spoke, its voice resonating with harmonic overtones. "I am Zixlith, High Counselor of the Galactic Concord. We apologize for this abrupt communication, but time grows short." Secretary General Okafor composed herself quickly. "High Counselor, I am Secretary General Amara Okafor. We are honored by your contact." Zixlith's crystalline form pulsed softly. "The honor is ours, Secretary General. Your species' achievement of wormhole travel has not gone unnoticed, but neither has it escaped the attention of the Void Collective." A murmur ran through the council chamber. Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. "What do you mean?" Okafor asked, her voice tense. "The Void Collective has altered course," Zixlith replied. "They are now headed directly for your solar system." The chamber erupted in chaos. Ilara's mind raced. They had hoped for more time, a chance to prepare. Now it seemed the choice was being made for them. Zixlith continued, its voice cutting through the commotion. "We offer you a choice, humans of Earth. Join the Concord, add your unique strengths to our alliance, and we will stand with you against the Collective, or face them alone." The ultimatum hung in the air, heavy with implications. Ilara stepped forward, her voice clear and determined. "High Counselor, with respect, that's not much of a choice. You're asking us to jump into an interstellar war with technology we barely understand." "We understand your hesitation, Captain Chen," a new voice chimed in. A squid light being floated into view, its tentacles gently undulating. "I am Admiral Korax of the Concord Defense Fleet. We do not ask you to fight unprepared. We offer you access to our technology, our knowledge. Together, we can accelerate your development." Secretary General Okafor's eyes narrowed. "And what do you ask in return, Admiral?" "Your innovation, your adaptability," Korax replied. "The Void Collective is relentless but predictable. They cannot comprehend individual thought, creative problem-solving. These are the weapons we need." As the implications sank in, Dr. Foster spoke up. "You're not just offering us technology, you're offering us a chance to leap forward centuries in scientific understanding." Zixlith's crystal form pulsed in agreement. "Precisely, Dr. Foster. But time is of the essence. The Collective will reach your system in what you would measure as 3 Earth months. We need your decision now." The council chamber fell silent. The weight of the moment was palpable. Humanity stood on the brink, faced with a decision that would alter the course of their species forever. Secretary General Okafor stood, her face a mask of determination. "High Counselor, Admiral, members of the Concord. Humanity has always faced challenges head-on. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive tendencies. We've dreamed of the stars for millennia. Now that we've reached them, we won't back down from this fight." She paused, looking around the room, seeing nods of agreement from the council members. "We accept your offer. Earth will join the Galactic Concord." A ripple of what could only be described as relief passed through the alien delegation. Zixlith's crystalline form glowed brighter. "We welcome you, Earth. Together, we will face this threat." As the transmission ended, the council chamber burst into activity. Plans needed to be made, resources allocated, the public informed. But amidst the chaos, Ilara felt a surge of pride and purpose. She turned to her crew, seeing the same mix of determination and excitement in their eyes. "Well," she said with a wry smile, "looks like we've got our work cut out for us." Dr. Foster nodded, his mind already racing with the possibilities. "We're going to see scientific advancements beyond our wildest dreams, Captain." "And we're going to need every bit of it," Ilara replied. "The Void Collective is coming, and we've got 3 months to prepare for the fight of our lives." As the council chamber buzzed with activity, Ilara couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny. Humanity had always looked to the stars with wonder. Now, they were about to become key players in a galactic drama. The challenges ahead were immense, but so were the possibilities. RIA, Ilara called out to her ship's AI, begin compiling all data on human military history, strategic thinking, and adaptive technologies. We're going to show the Concorde exactly what humanity can do. As AOIA acknowledged the command, Ilara turned her gaze to the window, looking out at the blue marble of Earth. In 3 months, that view would change forever. The Void Collective was coming, but they would find humanity ready and waiting, standing shoulder to shoulder, all tentacle, all leaf, with their new allies. The next 3 months would be a whirlwind of preparation, innovation, and transformation. Humanity was about to evolve in ways they had never imagined, and Ilara was determined to lead the charge. The stars had always called to them, and now they would answer that call with everything they had. Operation Stardust, a daring plan. The following weeks were a blur of activity as humanity raced against time. Earth's major powers, once divided, now united under the banner of species survival. Military bases transformed into centers of technological exchange as Concorde engineers worked alongside human scientists to upgrade Earth's defenses. Captain Ilara Chen found herself at the heart of this whirlwind. The Athena, once an experimental deep space vessel, was now the flagship of Earth's fledgling stellar fleet. Its systems had been overhauled with Concorde technology, a fusion of human ingenuity and alien advancement. Captain, Aoia's voice broke through Ilara's thoughts as she stood on the Athena's bridge, overlooking the lunar shipyards. Admiral Corax is requesting your presence at Lunar Base Alpha. It appears they've finalized the defense strategy. Ilara nodded, her face set with determination. Inform the Admiral I'm on my way. As she made her way to the shuttle bay, Ilara marveled at the changes around her. Human crew members worked seamlessly alongside Floran engineers, their plant-like bodies swaying as they manipulated holographic interfaces. In just weeks, humanity had leaped forward centuries in technological understanding. The shuttle ride to Lunar Base Alpha was short, but it gave Ilara a moment to reflect. The moon's surface, once barren, now bristled with defense platforms and energy arrays. It was a testament to what humanity could achieve when pushed to its limits. Admiral Corax greeted her as she entered the command center, his tentacles undulating in what Ilara had learned was a sign of respect. Captain Chen, thank you for joining us. We believe we've formulated a plan that gives us the best chance of success. Ilara followed the Admiral to a large holographic display at the center of the room. It showed the solar system, with the projected path of the approaching Void Collective fleet marked in ominous red. Zexlith, the crystalline High Counselor, stood nearby, its form pulsing with inner light. Captain, your species' historical records have provided us with an intriguing strategy. We believe a modified version of what you call a Trojan horse might be our key to victory. Ilara's eyebrows rose in surprise. A Trojan horse? Against a technologically advanced enemy? Dr. Foster, who had been working closely with the Concorde scientists, stepped forward. It's more complex than that, Captain. We've been studying the Void Collective's assimilation process. They don't just absorb biomatter, they integrate technology as well. We think we can use that against them. Admiral Corax's tentacles rippled with excitement. We propose to allow one of our ships to be captured by the Collective, but this ship will carry a payload designed to disrupt their hive mind once integrated. A virus? Ilara asked, her mind racing with the possibilities. Not exactly, Dr. Foster replied. It's more like an idea. A concept so foreign to their hive mind that it will cause a cascade failure in their neural network. Zexlith's crystalline form pulsed. This is where humanity's unique cognitive structure becomes crucial. The payload will be a compressed data package containing the essence of human individuality, creativity, and free will. Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. It was audacious, borderline insane, but it just might work. But how do we deliver this payload? Surely they'll detect any ship approaching. Admiral Corax's tentacles twisted in what Ilara had learned was their equivalent of a smile. That's where your Athena comes in, Captain. With its hybrid technology and your crew's expertise, you're our best chance of slipping past their defenses. The implications hit Ilara like a physical blow. They were proposing a suicide mission, a one-way trip into the heart of the enemy fleet. But as she looked around the room, at the mixture of human and alien faces all united in purpose, she knew there was no other choice. "I'll need volunteers," Ilara said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Once we're integrated into the collective, there's no guarantee we'll come back out." Dr. Foster stepped forward without hesitation. "I'll go. My knowledge of the payload might be crucial." One by one, others volunteered, both human and Concord allies. Ilara felt a surge of pride and determination. This was humanity at its best, facing impossible odds with courage and ingenuity. "Very well," Admiral Corax said, his tentacles rippling with a mixture of hope and concern. "We'll call this Operation Stardust. You'll depart in 48 hours. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galactic Concord rests on your success." As the meeting adjourned, Ilara found a quiet moment to look out at the Earth, hanging like a blue jewel in the void. Everything she had ever known, everyone she had ever loved, was on that fragile sphere. And now, it all depended on this desperate gamble. "RIA," she called out to her ship's AI, "begin preparations for Operation Stardust. And open a channel to my family. I need to say goodbye, just in case." As ALRIA acknowledged the command, Ilara steeled herself for what was to come. The next 48 hours would be a frenzy of preparation, but beyond that lay the greatest challenge humanity had ever faced. They were about to dive into the heart of an alien hive mind, armed with nothing but their wits and the very essence of what made them human. The Void Collective was coming, but they were about to learn a harsh lesson. Humanity might be young in the galactic stage, but they were far from helpless. With their new allies and their indomitable spirit, they were ready to fight for their place among the stars. As Ilara turned away from the window, her resolve hardened. Operation Stardust would succeed. It had to. The alternative was unthinkable. With a deep breath, she headed back to the Athena. There was work to be done, and precious little time to do it. The final countdown to humanity's greatest test had begun. The Battle of Proxima Centauri. The Athena hung in space, a silent sentinel at the edge of the solar system. Captain Ilara Chen stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the swirling vortex of a wormhole that had just opened before them. On the other side lay Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to Earth, and the chosen battleground for humanity's stand against the Void Collective. "All systems are go," Captain Aria's calm voice reported. "The payload is secure and all volunteers are in stasis." Ilara nodded, her throat tight. The volunteers, including Dr. Foster, were in specially designed stasis pods. If all went according to plan, they would be absorbed into the Void Collective along with the payload, their minds serving as the Trojan horse to disrupt the hive. "Status of the Concord fleet?" Ilara asked, her voice steady despite the tension coursing through her. "In position," Captain, her tactical officer, Lieutenant Ravi Sharma, reported. "Admiral Corax signals they're ready to execute Operation Stardust on your command." Ilara took a deep breath. This was it, the moment that would decide the fate of not just humanity, but countless species across the galaxy. "All hands, battle stations. AOIA, take us through." The Athena surged forward, plunging into the swirling maw of the wormhole. For a moment, reality seemed to twist and bend around them. Then, with a flash, they emerged into the Proxima Centauri system. The scene that greeted them was one of controlled chaos. The Concord fleet, a dazzling array of ships from a dozen different species, hung in a defensive formation around the star. And beyond them, like a dark cloud blotting out the stars, was the Void Collective. Their ships, if it could be called that, were more like living tissue in space. Tendrils of dark matter stretched between massive, pulsating orbs. As Ilara watched, smaller units broke off from the main mass, heading towards the Concorde fleet. "They've detected us," Lieutenant Sharma reported, his voice tense. "Multiple hostiles on an intercept course." Ilara's mind raced. They needed to appear vulnerable, but not so weak as to be destroyed outright. Evasive maneuvers, pattern Delta. Make it look good, but not too good. The Athena danced through space, narrowly avoiding the grasping tendrils of the Void Collective. Shots were exchanged, shields flared. All around them, the battle raged. Concorde ships unleashed salvos of energy weapons, while the Collective responded with dark matter projectiles that seemed to bend space itself. "Captain," Aroaya's voice cut through the chaos. "I'm detecting an anomaly in the Collective's behavior. They appear to be curious about us." Ilara allowed herself a grim smile. The bait was working. The Collective could sense the hybrid nature of the Athena, the fusion of human and Concorde technology. It was something new, something they wanted to understand and assimilate. "Now, Lieutenant Sharma," Ilara commanded, "execute Phase 2. With practiced precision, the Athena suddenly cut all power. They drifted, appearing dead in space. The nearest Collective ship, a massive orb crackling with dark energy, moved in. "Brace for impact," Ilara called out, gripping her chair tightly. The collision, when it came, was unlike anything Ilara had experienced. It wasn't so much a physical impact as a merging. The Athena's hull seemed to melt, dark tendrils seeping through bulkheads and corridors. "Payload status?" Ilara asked, fighting to keep her voice steady as the ship around her began to dissolve. "Intact and ready for delivery, Captain," Aroaya replied, her voice distorting as the ship's systems were compromised. Ilara closed her eyes, sending a silent prayer to whatever might be listening. "Deploy payload, and AOIA, it's been an honor." "The honor was mine, Captain," Aroaya responded, her voice fading. "Payload deployed, good luck." And then silence. Ilara felt a strange sensation, as if her very atoms were being pulled apart and reassembled. The bridge of the Athena faded away, replaced by a vast, dark network of pulsing energy. She was inside the Void Collective. For a moment, panic threatened to overwhelm her. But then she felt it, a presence. No, multiple presences. Dr. Foster, the volunteers, even a ghost of AOIA's consciousness. They were all here, their minds linked but still individual. And they weren't alone. All around them, trapped in the dark network, were countless other minds. The assimilated victims of the Void Collective, their individuality suppressed but not entirely gone. Now, Ilara thought, and felt the others respond in kind. Together, they unleashed the payload. It wasn't a virus or a weapon in any traditional sense. It was an idea, a concept so fundamental to humanity that it defied the very nature of the hive mind. Freedom, choice, individuality. The effect was immediate and catastrophic. The dark network around them began to fracture, minds long suppressed suddenly awakening. The Void Collective, for the first time in its existence, experienced doubt, confusion, and the terrifying concept of free will. Outside in physical space, the effect was equally dramatic. The collective ships began to break apart, their cohesion lost as the hive mind collapsed. Admiral Corax, watching from the Concorde flagship, couldn't believe his eyes. By the stars, he breathed, his tentacles writhing in amazement. They did it. They actually did it. As the Void Collective disintegrated, the liberated minds of countless species reached out, seeking help, seeking freedom. The Concorde fleet moved in, ready to rescue as many as they could. And at the heart of it all, floating in the debris of what was once the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known, was the battered but intact form of the Athena. Inside, Captain Ilara Chen opened her eyes, finding herself back on her bridge. Around her, her crew stirred, equally disoriented but alive. "Ah, Elara called out, her voice hoarse. "Status report." There was a moment of silence, then the AI's familiar voice filled the bridge. "Operation Stardust successful, Captain. The Void Collective has been neutralized. And we're receiving a transmission from Admiral Corax. It seems the galaxy owes us a debt of gratitude." Elara let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. They had done it. Against all odds, humanity had not only survived its first interstellar conflict, but had proven itself to be a force to be reckoned with. As the Athena limped back towards the Concorde fleet, Elara knew that everything had changed. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not just as newcomers, but as saviors. The Battle of Proxima Centauri was over, but humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. Diplomacy amid the stars. The aftermath of the Battle of Proxima Centauri was a whirlwind of activity. As the dust settled and the immediate threat of the Void Collective faded, humanity found itself thrust into a new role, that of galactic peacemakers and problem solvers. Captain Elara Chen stood before the full assembly of the Galactic Concorde, her uniform crisp, despite the fatigue evident in her eyes. The vast chamber was filled with representatives from hundreds of species, all gathered to hear Earth's report on the aftermath of Operation Stardust. And so, Elara concluded, her voice carrying across the hushed chamber. "While the immediate threat of the Void Collective has been neutralized, we face new challenges. Millions of formerly assimilated individuals have been freed, many of them the last survivors of their species. They need homes, rehabilitation, and a chance to rebuild." Zixlith, the crystalline High Counselor, pulsed with a soft light. "Captain Chen, humanity has already done more than we could have hoped. Yet you stand before us with more plans, more ideas. Your species' drive is remarkable." Elara nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Thank you, High Counselor. But this isn't just about humanity. The galaxy stood with us against the collective. Now it's our turn to stand with the galaxy." She gestured, and a holographic display sprang to life in the center of the chamber. It showed a massive space station, unlike anything the Concorde had seen before. "We call it the Phoenix Sanctuary," Elara explained. "A joint project between Earth and the Concorde. A place where the survivors of the collective can heal, learn, and perhaps even find others of their kind." The chamber erupted in murmurs of amazement and approval. Admiral Corax's tentacles waved excitedly. "This is unprecedented. The resources required, the coordination." Dr. Foster stepped forward, his eyes bright with enthusiasm despite the ordeal he had been through. "That's where Earth comes in. Our history is full of refugee crises, of rebuilding after devastation. It's not always pretty, but we've learned valuable lessons. We're prepared to share that knowledge, to help coordinate this massive undertaking." As the Concorde representatives discussed the proposal, Elara felt a surge of pride. This was humanity at its best, innovative, compassionate, and unafraid to tackle seemingly insurmountable challenges. The next few months were a blur of diplomatic meetings, construction projects, and scientific breakthroughs. The Phoenix Sanctuary took shape in a strategically chosen star system, its vast habitats designed to accommodate a dizzying array of alien biologies. Elara found herself shuttling between Earth, the Sanctuary, and various Concorde worlds. She had become the face of humanity to the galaxy, a role she accepted with grace and determination. One particular day found her in a meeting with representatives from a dozen different species, all working on integrating their various technologies into the Sanctuary's systems. The challenge, a squid-like Volux engineer was saying, its tentacles gesticulating wildly, is creating an environment that can rapidly adapt to the needs of any species. We simply don't have enough data on all the survivors. Elara nodded, her mind racing. Then an idea struck her. What if we don't try to predict every need? What if we make the environment itself adaptable? She turned to OIA, whose consciousness had been expanded to help manage the Sanctuary. RIA, could we implement a system similar to Earth's 3D printing technology, but on a massive scale? Something that could reconfigure habitats in real time based on the occupants' needs. Aria's holographic form flickered as she processed the idea. It's ambitious, Captain, but theoretically possible. We would need to combine Volok's matter manipulation technology with Floran rapid growth techniques, and perhaps some Zix lithium crystal computing. As Ilara and Aia bounced ideas back and forth, the alien representatives watched in amazement. This was why humanity had become so valued in the Concord, their ability to think outside conventional boundaries, to combine disparate ideas into innovative solutions. Weeks turned into months, and the Phoenix Sanctuary began to take shape. It wasn't just a refuge, it was becoming a symbol of galactic cooperation and resilience. Species that had once been bitter enemies now worked side by side, united by their shared experience of surviving the collective. But not everything was smooth sailing. As more survivors were brought to the sanctuary, tensions inevitably arose. Old conflicts resurfaced, and the trauma of assimilation left deep scars. Ilara found herself mediating disputes, her human perspective often providing a fresh outlook on age-old conflicts. She drew on Earth's history, on tales of reconciliation and forgiveness in the face of terrible wrongs. One particularly tense meeting stood out in her memory. Representatives from two species, the Nox and the Vrel, were at each other's throats, centuries of hostility bubbling to the surface. Enough! Ilara's voice cut through the shouting. The chamber fell silent, all eyes turning to her. Look at yourselves. You've both survived something terrible. You've both lost nearly everything. And now, when you have a chance to start anew, you cling to old hatreds. She took a deep breath, her voice softening. On Earth, we have a saying, united we stand, divided we fall. The Void Collective nearly destroyed us all because we were divided. We can't afford that luxury anymore. Your peoples need each other now more than ever. Her words seemed to hang in the air. Slowly, reluctantly, the Nox and Vrel representatives looked at each other. It wasn't friendship, not yet, but it was a start. As Ilara left the meeting, she felt a hand on her shoulder. It was Dr. Foster, a proud smile on his face. You know, Captain, I think we've discovered humanity's true gift to the galaxy. Ilara raised an eyebrow. Oh, and what's that? Foster's eyes twinkled. Hope, Captain. We give them hope. As they looked out over the bustling construction of the Phoenix Sanctuary, Ilara couldn't help but agree. Humanity had come to the stars seeking adventure and knowledge. Instead, they had found a galaxy in need of healing, of unity. And somehow, against all odds, they were rising to the challenge. The journey ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, but as Ilara watched representatives from 100 worlds working together, she knew that the future was bright. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors or mere explorers, but as builders of bridges between worlds. The age of isolation was over. The age of galactic cooperation had begun, and humanity was leading the charge. A new era for humanity. 5 years had passed since the Battle of Proxima Centauri, and the galaxy was a changed place. The Phoenix Sanctuary had grown from a dream into a thriving reality, a beacon of hope and cooperation in the vastness of space. And at the heart of it all was humanity, no longer the new kids on the galactic block, but respected members of the Galactic Concord. Captain Ilara Chen, now Admiral Chen, stood on the observation deck of Earth's first true interstellar city ship, the ESS Unity. The massive vessel represented the pinnacle of human Concord cooperation, a mobile platform of diplomacy, science, and cultural exchange. Quite a view, isn't it? Dr. Foster's voice broke through her reverie. The scientist had aged in the past 5 years, but his eyes still sparkled with the same curiosity and excitement. Ilara nodded, a smile playing on her lips. Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come. The Unity was on its maiden voyage, a grand tour of Concord worlds to strengthen ties and showcase Earth's advancements. But it wasn't just a diplomatic mission. The ship carried something far more precious, hope for countless lost species. Admiral, Aria's voice chimed in, her holographic form materializing beside them. We're approaching the Zectra system. Initial scans are promising. Ilara's heart raced. The Zectra had been thought extinct, completely absorbed by the Void Collective. But data recovered from the Collective's remnants had hinted at a possible survivor colony. Alert the xenobiology team, Ilara commanded, and contact the Zectra representatives on board. They should be the first to know if we found their lost kin. As the Unity entered the system, tensions ran high. Scans penetrated the thick atmosphere of the third planet, revealing signs of civilization. And then a transmission. Crude by Concord standards, but unmistakably Zectra. The scene that followed would be etched in Ilara's memory forever. The joy on the faces of the Zectra representatives as they made contact with their lost colony. The tears, or equivalent expressions of emotion for non-humanoid species, as families torn apart by the Collective were reunited. It was more than just a reunion. It was a vindication of everything humanity and the Concord had been working towards. A proof that even in the darkest times, hope could survive. As the Unity orbited the Zectra world, facilitating the reintegration of the lost colony with the wider galaxy, Ilara found herself in a reflective mood. She made her way to the ship's grand conference room, where representatives from dozens of species were gathered. Friends, she began, her voice carrying across the room. What we've witnessed today is more than just the recovery of a lost colony. It's a testament to the resilience of life, to the power of cooperation. She gestured to the viewport, where the green and blue world of the Zectra spun slowly. 5 years ago, humanity was alone, unaware of the wider galaxy. We could have retreated when faced with the threat of the Void Collective. We could have turned inward, focused solely on our own survival. A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. They all remembered those dark days, the fear and uncertainty. But we chose a different path, Ilara continued. We chose to stand with you, to fight not just for our survival, but for the survival of all. And in doing so, we found our place in this vast, incredible galaxy. She turned, meeting the eyes, or sensory organs, of each representative in turn. The Void Collective sought to erase individuality, to create a homogeneous whole. But look at us now. Dozens of species, each unique, each bringing something special to our alliance. Our strength lies not in uniformity, but in diversity. As she spoke, Ilara felt a swell of emotion. Pride in how far humanity had come, yes, but also a deep sense of belonging. They were part of something greater now, a galactic community. The journey ahead won't be easy, she concluded. There are more lost colonies to find, more wounds to heal. But I stand here today filled with hope, because I've seen what we can achieve when we work together. The Phoenix Sanctuary, this very ship, the rescue of the Zectra, these are just the beginning. As applause filled the room, Ilara caught Dr. Foster's eye. The scientist gave her a subtle nod, his expression mirroring her own mix of pride and determination. Later, as the Unity prepared to leave the Zectra system, Ilara stood once again on the observation deck. The stars stretched out before her, each one a potential adventure, a possible home for some lost species. "RIA," she called out, "set a course for the Gamma Quadrant. We've got more work to do." As the ship's engines hummed to life, Ilara felt a familiar thrill of excitement. This was why humanity had always looked to the stars, not just for conquest or resources, but for the sheer joy of discovery, the chance to make a difference. They had found their place in the galaxy, not as conquerors or mere observers, but as bridges between worlds, as healers and innovators. The Void Collective had sought to end diversity. Humanity and the Concord were championing it. As the Unity leaped into faster-than-light travel, Ilara knew that the greatest adventures still lay ahead. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning, and she couldn't wait to see what the future held. The age of isolation was over. The age of galactic cooperation had truly begun, and humanity, once the newcomers, were now at the forefront, leading the charge into a brighter, more diverse, and more united future for all species. As the starfield blurred around them, Elara smiled. The universe was vast and full of wonders, and humanity was ready to embrace it all, hand in hand, or tentacle in hand, with their new galactic family. The end, or perhaps just the beginning of a greater adventure.